This is my new tutorial for my new music player for VoiceAttack. The goal of this profile is to create a music database that VoiceAttack can use to play your music by just saying play and the title name. Now, what you want to do first is download the profile that's attached to the bottom of this post. Then you want to import that into VoiceAttack. So hit import, click on the file you just downloaded, hit open to then create the profile. It's going to say yes or no. You want to say yes, and it'll import the profile. Now, the first thing you do is press and hold the F5 key for about a half a second.
Reloading profile. The music player is ready.
Okay. What that just did was it created a manual on how to use the profile, the music player. And I have some tips in here on why things are done and how to do them. Now, it also created a backup folder under VoiceAttack Apps folder on your hard drive, along with the text file for your manual. And if you want to open the manual, you can just say open instructions, and it should open up. Alright, now, the next thing you want to do is, let's get started. Go to a folder where your music's at. Alright. You want to see the title of the music right here in your, it should be the last thing on your command line here. The way the title is taken from the MP3 files is from MP3 tag. That is an embedded listing of everything in the song right in the file itself. Now, not every audio file has this. If it doesn't have it, you'll have to add that information. You also have to edit that information in order to get the song to play properly. There are a lot of crazy titles embedded in all kinds of songs. You never would even expect that there would be an issue. Like, let's say, for example, Michael Jackson's Thriller. Okay, it's entirely possible that if you look at the title name, which this is the title, this is the MP3 tag right here that's embedded in each one of these MP3s. You might see on Thriller that the title has Thriller, but then it says in parentheses, or yeah, it'll say remastered. All right. Well, in order for you to play that song now, you'd have to say play Thriller remastered. And I mean, you're not going to remember that you have to add remastered to that one song out of 20,000 songs you might have. So I mean, that's just a lot of effort there, unless you play it a lot. And anyway, right, this one right here. So what you feel, reprise. You'd actually have to say the entire thing in order for it to work properly. You know, and you may or may not remember it. In this case, there's actually another song with the exact same name. So it's a different version of basically the same song. Let's say this one here. You're never going to remember the title for this. What you need to do is edit this title. And what you need is a program called MP3 tag. Alright. Now, I made a command in the profile. If you just say download MP3 tag, it'll automatically open the web page and try to download the execution file for the program. It'll ask you to save the file, and after it's saved, go to the execution file where it's saved it at and run it and install the program. It's just a little program, not a big deal. Now, after you have it installed, you want to click on, if you want to edit one of these, you want to click on it, right click on it, and then you'll see MP3 tag listed right here. You just click on that and it'll open it up. Then you want to highlight the song you want to edit. And as you can see, the title now is right there. Now, if this title is blank, if there's nothing here, and you try to add the song, it's going to throw an error, and it won't work. It'll be like object error or something like that. So you have to put a title here. It has to be a title. Doesn't matter what the artist's name is. It has to be the title right here. In this case, we got all those words you'd have to say just to run the song. Because whatever this title is what the trigger phrase is. So it's going to be play whatever the title is. So you'd have to say all this just to play it. But we don't want to do that. So let's just remove a lot of this stuff because it's just too much. And let's just call it restless. Alright. Now you want to save it after you do it. And now it's now modified that title embedded in here. But as you can see, the name of the file hasn't changed. But it has changed to MP3 tag. And this is the MP3 tags here. And you can see it's now no longer that long bit of text. It's just this one thing. Alright. Now, you can do that with any one of these that you feel that needs to be changed. Like this one here, it says demo version. Well, if you say something to sing about, you actually have to say demo version right after you say it. Otherwise, it won't play because it won't know what it is. It won't find it in the database. There can't be a duplicate title in the database. So there are multiple artists that are going to use the exact same title, and you're not going to be able to add that song from that album because some other artist already has that song title. So a lot of times what I do to fix that would be, let's say there's another artist using Thriller as a title. All right, you can add to the song itself. Let's say you go here. Let's say there's somebody else using this song somewhere else, okay? But you want to be able to have, loaded up for the Buffy soundtrack here. So you could just call it Buffy and, whoops, hang on. You need to click on it first. You could just add Buffy to the front part of it like this. There you go. Now you can say Buffy and the name of the song, or you can say Buffy the Slayer, Once More Feeling. You can add, whatever, and then the name of the song right after it. So this would be the play trigger. So you go play Buffy Coda, and it'll start playing the song, if that's what you want to do. But I don't want to do that. It's just an example. But that's one way to separate it from another artist using the same song, is to put the artist name in the song. Or if it's a soundtrack, put the name of the soundtrack before, or you can put it after for that matter if you want. However you feel comfortable, what you feel is easiest for you to remember doing the trigger phrase, and it'll do it that way. Originally, this profile was designed to do artist and title, but there are so many MP3s with titles, artist titles, that are just letters and characters and names you can't pronounce, and you never remember them. It went on. It's a nightmare. I mean, it's seriously just a nightmare to try to remember the artist and the title that way. I mean, it's hard enough to remember the title as it is, but to have a random named artist with a bunch of characters and stuff that you have to say in order for the VoiceAttack to play the song, that ain't gonna fly there. So I changed the profile so it only did titles. Much easier to manage. Believe me, it is much easier to manage. Okay. Now, like I said, if you go into the folder, you'll see. Make sure the command line here is the folder you're in. All right. You're going to create when you go to add an album, it's going to create a song list. All right, and it's called the name of the song text file. It's going to create that, and you want to have that as cleanly as possible. and you want to have the title of the album that you're adding, and then all the songs that you're adding as well. That way, when you have 20,000 songs, you can open up that file and just do a search for an album, an artist, a file, a title of a song, whatever, and it'll find it really quickly, and you can then just tell VoiceAttack to play that, and it'll play it. Otherwise, good luck trying to remember 20,000 songs if you don't use it. um, so this is how you go about adding the title of the album into your database here. First, you want to press and hold page down.
Copy album title. Buffy the Vampire Slayer once more with feeling musical episode soundtrack.
Alright. It'll copy the soundtrack. It'll copy the title name, and then it'll read it to you so you know that it's got the correct one in the clipboard ready to go. Alright. Now, you want to mark all the files that you're planning to add to the database. Try not to mark any, well, I don't think it matters, but only mark the files you want to add. Okay. Now, there's one other thing. You have to make sure that the extension is all lowercase. So you see MP3, it's all lowercase. Sometimes you'll get some MP3s that it'll have a capital M, and then it'll say lowercase p and then 3. Oh, it'll be a capital MP3. You have to change it and make it just MP3. Otherwise, it won't error out. It won't be added. It may be an object error or something like that. It just won't work. So you have to change all the MP3, all the extensions to lowercase. It's the only acceptable way it'll do it. And the other thing is, sometimes there'll be some crazy characters or something in the name of the song, of the file itself, that VoiceAttack might have a problem with. If that's the case, you might have to go and clean up your wildly named file to a little bit more manageable, normal file title. And then you should be good. Right. And if the title, the MP3 tag is blank, remember it's not going to work. So when you're marking it here, you actually see the title that that there is an MP3 tag right here and what it is. So if one of these are blank, it's not going to be added. It's going to throw an object error, and you're going to have to go and edit it with the MP3 tag, change it to whatever you want it to be, and then just add that single song to the database. Now, I'll show you how to do this. Now that we have the files that we want to add, we just want to hit page down one time.
Processing songs.
It says
songs added. Reloading music player.
As you can
music player is ready.
As you can see, it says it added 23 songs, and then it went through the process of resetting everything. Now, let's say you don't want to add these songs. Okay, you made a mistake. You don't want to add it. You want to take it out of your database. All right. So what you want to do is hold the Control key down, and while holding Control, tap the page down button.
Removing selected songs. Processing songs. Music player is ready.
All right. And now your music player has nothing in it. Your database has nothing in it because we just took all the songs out of it. That's where the error comes in. The song list is now empty. It removed 23 songs, as you can see there. All right. Now that we added the album to it one time, we created the name of the song file, and let me show you how to open that. Just say open song list, and it opens it up. And as you can see, it looks nice and neat. You got the name of the files there, and you have the title of the track. Now, the first time you do it, you might have removed a couple of those empty spaces at the top and just save it like that. And if there's anything here you want to edit to make it look neater, that's up to you if you want to spend the time to do it. Um, and just close it after you're done. Now, if the problem is when you go to create, you want to add these songs back. Let's just do that real quick. We're gonna add the we're gonna copy the album name.
Copy album title. Buffy the Vampire Slayer once more with Feeling musical episode soundtrack.
All right. And then we're gonna add these songs.
Processing songs. Songs added. Reloading music player. Music player is ready.
All right. So that happens really fast when you only have one album added. But when you have 20,000 songs, it takes longer to go through the process to add the song. So it could take you 20 seconds to go through the process of adding that song. And then every time you reload the profile, it takes about 6 seconds to reload the profile. And that's depending on how fast your computer is. It may be faster, it may be slower. My computer isn't slow, so it may be slower for you. Who knows? But it's just one of the things you have to deal with um, every time you add more music. Now, when you re-added it, it then re-put the the album and the file names back into the name of the song list. So added a duplicate copy into it. I'll show you that. Open song list. All right, and as you can see, now there are two of them, like that. All right. So what you want to do is just go in. You want to clean this up because you made the mistake of adding it again, and just save and close it. Now, let's say we want to just remove them again. So we're going to hold Control down and hit
Removing selected songs. Processing songs. Music player is ready.
All right. I just removed them back out of the database, but it didn't affect the name of the song list. That's still there. So you still got the album listed in the name of the song list as if it's still in your database. All right. So now you want to add these songs back, but you don't want to dirty up your name of the song list again, so you have to go and edit it. So what you want to do is you just hold Shift and hit page down.
Not writing to name of songs list. Processing songs. Completed. Music player is ready.
Open song list. And now you can see it didn't add anything to it. So if you hold Shift and then push page down, it'll add the songs without going through the process of adding it to your name of the song list. So it keeps this clean, nice little handy thing to have there. And it's all ready to go. Now if you want to play a song, let's just play a short one. Play the Mustard.
They got the mustard.
All right. So they got the mustard out. Great. Um, and it's just like that. I mean, it's as simple as that. That's all you have to do. You'll get the hang of titling it so they don't conflict with others, because they can't conflict with others. You have the database will not take duplicate title names, so you'll kind of work out your own way of dealing with that. But once you do it, it's very straightforward, very easy to do. You'll quickly add your albums. I mean, it just takes a few seconds. When you get up to 20,000 songs, it might take you half a minute to add an album. But once it's added, it's done, and it doesn't. It only takes. It doesn't take any time to play. You can go. As long as you're not reloading the profile, there is no delay. You can just tell it to play whatever, like play Rest in Peace. That wasn't Rest in Peace. Play Rest in Peace. Okay. Yeah. Or play Walk Through the Fire. And usually it will hear you correctly on the first try. Sometimes there are some title names that are similar and it may miss and play something else. Some file names, the title names, are just hard for uh, the speech recognition to understand properly. And you may have to go in and change the title or something to, I mean, if it's one of your favorite songs and you're planning on using it, often, you might want to change the title to something that makes it easier for VoiceAttack to hear it properly. And it's not really VoiceAttack, but Windows recognition to hear it properly. The speech engine. Um, and that's it. You're good to go. So if you have any questions or comments, whatever, please just post it in the forum here. And that's all. I hope you all get some enjoyment out of it. Oops, I forgot a couple of things I need to tell you about. I created a backup command as well to back up your music database. Alright, these two files right here are very important, especially my song list. That is your music database. That's where all your music is stored right there. The links, not the actual music. This is all the names of the songs and the text file. In this case, that's what it looks like I showed you before. And this is what your database looks like. Pretty jumbled looking. Alright, these two things are going to be backed up, and you don't need to highlight anything like that. You just go backup music player. Okay, and it'll create these files here. Now, each one of these have the date, time, and second added to it. So you shouldn't make any duplicate files. You shouldn't overwrite any files out of these two. And every time you back it up, it'll just create another one. So let's just say it again. Backup music player. There you go. So now you got two of them, different times, seconds, and everything. And you can just do that as many times as you like, and you'll never have any conflict or overriding issues. This file is your database without all the added text. This file is overwritten every time you create it. Every time you back up your music player, it'll create this file, well, it'll overwrite this file. First time it'll create it, and the rest of the time it'll just overwrite it. Alright, and the reason for that is every once in a while VoiceAttack will forget the variable. Alright, so there goes your database. Alright, well that's what the My Song list is for. It's to create a backup of your database and have it be able to load what's in that text file back into the variable, so you have your database back for your music player. Alright. But sometimes it'll not only delete the variable, but it'll then empty the text file database, which is kind of irritating. So if that happens, all you need to do, I'm going to delete this file to simulate if that happens. Okay. Now it's gone. You found the text file is empty. All right. All you have to do is say restore song list.
Restore. Reloading profile.
Okay.
The music player is ready.
All right. It recreated. What it did was it copied the file here and dropped it back out here again. Okay. Basically just recreated it. And then it reset the profile, which then reloads your database back into the variable for the music player. And now the music player has a database again and should be able to play a song. So let's try playing a song. Play Restless. Alright, that was the song I had edited the title for and just named it Restless. As you can see, it works just fine. I guess that's it. I can open up the profile and show you this is what it basically looks like. What you could probably do when you're not doing anything with it is you could just run these files here. Um, I did add this here. This is a command I have it set to F22 as a key. But you could change this to anything you want it to be. It can be an F key or whatever. So it's triggered when it's to turn your mic on and off. And when you press down on it, it activates the mic. It drops your system audio to 1. So it just basically mutes the audio. And so you can say play whatever. And so if you're playing a song, I can show you an example. How about that? For people that aren't familiar with what I'm talking about. Play Rest in Peace. Alright. Now if I push the mute button, hit the mic button, it's going to mute the song. It's still playing. See? And now I can just say whatever the next command. You go play Hush. Unfortunately, I forgot that I can run multiple instances. But you can always, if your music player doesn't allow multiple instances, then they would have just played the next song and wouldn't have continued playing the other one. Otherwise, you'd have to close and just play the next one. Either way. Anyway, it was just an example. It's a handy little thing. Allows you to use a desktop mic while having noise in your room. It'll just mute the noise, allow you to speak the command, and then you can just let go, and it returns the volume back to what it was and runs the command, hopefully, if it hears you properly. That's all up to you on that one. Well, that's it. I believe if there's any questions or comments or, how do you do something or anything, just, ask in the comments. All right. Thanks.